Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lydia, and if you're watching for the first time, you are welcome. And if you're an old or returning subscriber, you're also welcome. Today I'll be talking about how to find US clinical experience or rotation. But before I start, I'll talk about the types of rotation, what you need for rotation, financial aspect, and then we'll talk about how to actually find this rotation. So if you're interested, let's dive in. So starting with types of rotation. So there are three different types of rotation. There's the electives, observerships, and externship. So starting with elective is a type of rotation that allows visitors to perform hands-on practices. So that means that you're allowed to be involved in patient interaction, you can create differential diagnosis, you can present cases to your attending physician, you can perform physical examination. And for electives, you would most likely need your step 1 or step 2 scores. You usually need to present a proof of English speaking. So that could mean that you need to get your OET or TOEFL result. So the next type of rotation is called observership. So for observership, you're only allowed to observe. So this means that you're not allowed to be involved in patient interaction. You can only present cases or present differential diagnosis or just be involved in team discussions. Next would be externship. So externship is a mix of electives and observership. Just that for externship, you can do it as a medical graduate, so you don't have to be a student like elective. You could do this as a medical graduate. So let's talk about what you need for rotation. So there are three major things you need which are really important, which is visa, proof of immunization, and malpractice insurance. For visa, if you are a non-US citizen, then you definitely need a visa. And for this, the visa that is usually required is a B1, B2 visa, although some hospitals could ask for J1 visa, but B1, B2 is commonly used and is also accepted. You also need to show proof of immunization. And for this, you need to show proof that you've taken the MMR vaccine, varicella, hepatitis B, and a whole lot of them. Then you need to show proof of malpractice insurance. So for malpractice insurance is something you could get online, or usually the hospital provides you with that. So you just pay to the hospital and then they help you out with that. Now let's talk about the financial aspect of US clinical experience, which is the main thing. So this really depends. Like the price of rotation can go from free to thousands of dollars. And free because if you know, if you have friends, if you have families, you know a family member who is a doctor, there's an alumni of your school who works at a certain hospital, then you could get your rotation for free. But if not, then you have to pay for it. So the cost, it usually costs between $500 to maybe $4,000, but usually in that range. And it depends. If you're applying for an inpatient rotation, it might cost more than just an outpatient rotation. But as I said, it depends on a lot of things. Also, after paying for your rotation, cost of feeding, transport, housing is not involved, so you know that this is also an additional cost that you have to budget for. Lastly, let's talk about how to actually find these rotations. So there are different ways you could find US clinical rotation, to be honest. The major way is going to FRIDA and then looking up hospitals that accept non-US students to apply for these rotations. And this means that you go on FRIDA, you get their website, and then you contact someone. There's usually a contact information who you're supposed to contact or email, and then ask about all of this. But it's important that you read the website, because then you would know if US students are allowed or not. Also, you could use agencies. There are a lot of agencies. The most popular, most common is AMO, American Opportunities. And for this, you have to, because it's an agency, they're helping you to apply and all of that. It usually costs more than other rotations, and you might not get a lot of inpatient rotations, which is important. Also, the hospitals you may get on this with these agencies may not have residency spots, so it's almost like you just do a rotation, you get a letter of recommendation, but I mean, they don't have a residency spot. So applying for residency it will not be challenging, but you definitely know that it's better to do rotation in a place that has residency spot there, because you have greater chance, right, of being in that program. So that's the only downside of this. So this brings me to the end of today's topic. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, subscribe. See you in my next video. Bye.